or put on our YouTube page. Elon Parents has a YouTube page, and this and other webinars that we do throughout the academic year are added there so that you can go back and see them at your convenience if you would like at any time. So, I am Emily Lyons. I am one of the assistant directors of parent engagement here at Elon University. Um, Part of my job is to coordinate summer welcome events, and for families who are not able to attend a summer welcome event, to create webinars like this so that we share information with all of our families, and kind of meet you where you are. So hopefully you are as very well prepared as you move in next week. It's kind of amazing that it is next weekend for move-in. So I've been here at Elon over 7 years. I graduated with my MBA in 2025, and I also have a student in the class of 2030 who will be joining your students as well here on campus next weekend. So I would like to introduce Andy and Katie Cox. They are parents of a student from the class of 2027 and 2030. So they also have an incoming student as well for the class of 2030. So I will let Katie introduce herself and then share. Andy can introduce himself then.
Hi, everyone. We're so excited everybody's on this. My name is Katie Cox. My son Andrew will be a senior, and we have Carter, a rising freshman. And we're thrilled that we have both of our sons on campus. We love Elon.
Yep.
Super.
Yep.
Thanks.
And I'm Andy Cox. We live in Charlotte. I'm not sure if Katie just mentioned that or not. I swear I was paying attention. And yeah, so we've enjoyed seeing Andrew's experience at Elon, we have lots of perspectives on that. But we've seen everything from move in, which I'm sure we're about to talk about, through almost graduation. That'll come next spring, and everything in between. And it's just been for Andrew a wonderful experience. And I think for us, what's been so rewarding to see is just the range of experiences he's had, from the variety of academic courses. His major is sport management. He has minors in German studies, finance, and business administration, which is kind of an eclectic mix, but you can do that at Elon, so we love that. To the wide variety of clubs and organizations that he's been involved with over the years, along with international travel, meeting just amazing fellow students from all over the country, which I know for him has been really rewarding to see. So great experience for Andrew and for us by extension, and that's why his younger brother is coming.
That's fabulous. Fabulous. Elena Casey is class of 2027, also a rising senior. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what your major is and where you're from?
Yeah, of course. So, as Ms. Lyons said, I'm Elena. I'm a senior. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I study nursing, and I'm a part of the nursing program at Elon. And I work in the Office of Financial Aid, and I am also one of your two student coordinators for new student orientation.
So some of the students might see you during orientation next weekend.
They should. I'll be there at everything.
Super, super. So move-in is happening next Friday, August 21st. All students have their move-in times now. And that's the time that families will be in your car, pulling through the parking lot at Shar Center. And that's your starting point, getting your packet with your Phoenix card, any keys that you need, maps for that Friday, because we do change some pathways of streets, so that the coordination of getting to residence halls is easy for everybody. Andy and Katie, do you remember Andrew's move-in experience, what that was like for you guys? You packed up the car, I'm assuming, in Charlotte and drove up.
It was amazing. We have an older daughter who went to a different school, and you can't even begin to compare the two moving experiences. You drive into Shar, I think it was done alphabetically. We were given a packet of information. We went to Andrew's dorm, pull up. there is an army of students there in these giant blue rolly bins, and they take all your stuff out of your car into your dorm, into your dorm room. I think I might have carried a pillow, and that is it. It was unbelievable. Really good experience.
Super. And so I'm assuming, Andy, you were probably driving the car then and went and parked and
Yep.
came back to the residence hall.
Yep, that's exactly right. And they give you plenty of information around where to go, where to park, where the dorm is, where to pick up everybody, all that stuff. It's all very well organized. So that's exactly right. I parked the car, and by the time I got back to the dorm, I think everything was already upstairs.
The best piece
Yeah.
of advice we got was to label our belongings, just masking tape with your name and maybe your dorm room number on it, just in case, because every person there is going to have a blue IKEA bag and they're hard to tell apart.
Yes, yes, that's definitely have the student's name on the outside because you're right. There's the football team, the basketball team, all the different athletic teams are helping out. Staff members across campus are helping out, unloading the car. It might be like feel like a little bit of swarm of bees, but they're there to help move everything as quickly as possible. So you can then take everything up to the room and then decide just how to arrange things. Um, Katie and Andy, I know your daughter went to a different school, but there was probably a different feel to moving your daughter into a dorm room than your son into a dorm room, maybe like how they were decorating or and how much stuff they had.
Yes, I was constructing a lot of different furniture items and putting up fake wallpaper and stuff like that for our daughter. Not so much with our son.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to be typical. Elena, how was your move-in experience a couple years ago?
I could not have had a better move-in experience. As they said, you pull up to Shar, and the roads are blocked off to make it as easy as possible for you to access Shar in a specific entrance, and then you are directed to go to specific lanes in the Shar parking lot based off of your last name. From there, as they said, you get all the information, and then they direct you to exactly which route to go through, depending on where you are moving your student in, which is incredible. I remember that I was incredibly scared because I was worried about the amount of stuff I brought. I would say that bring more than you think you need. There is no judgment, there is no concern. We will help you with whatever you need and however many items you bring. As they said, they do have like the big blue bins that we load everything into. I say this because I was also an orientation leader and a team lead helping out. So you load all your stuff into the bins and then they help you roll it up and take everything up the stairs or up the elevator, everything like that. Um, I had a great experience with the athletes helping me out as well. It moved so quickly. I honestly felt bad I wasn't doing more to help, but that's what they're there for, and they're there to give you that support. You have a million things going on in your head, and you're adjusting to this new place of living, and they're there to kind of make you not have to worry about the more little things and stuff like that. So it was definitely fantastic. And once you unload everything from whatever vehicle or vehicles, then you move your car to long-term parking, and they tell you which long-term parking lot you go to after that, and then you can come back and help decorate and everything and all the fun stuff of figuring out where you want your posters and everything like that. So it was absolutely fantastic. Um, I could not have asked for a better experience.
Yeah, and a couple things to note. No lot is crazy far from campus. Like I know I've heard feedback that the freshman lot is far from campus, but in reality, there's I can walk from the furthest point across campus in like 15, 18 minutes. So it may seem far, because you're not right at the door of the residence hall, but there's no point that's really any more than probably 10, 15 minutes of a walk. So, Elena, did you bring your car your first year?
I did not because my older brother attended Elon University and was a senior when I was a first year, and I freeloaded off of his car. Um,
Okay,
yeah, but
gotcha.
honestly, I never used it. I never needed to use it. Everything that I needed was on campus. Um, or if I needed Target, which you can't walk to, a friend has a car. So I actually never used the car, except for when we drove home.
Gotcha, gotcha. Did Andrew have a car his first year, Katie and Andy?
He did. And he used it because he likes to play golf. So he was using it on the weekends.
Gotcha, gotcha. Do you remember, did he follow you? Did y'all have two cars coming through
We
Sharp?
took two cars. We had, I mean, both cars, even though he is a boy, both
Yeah,
cars were loaded with so much stuff, and we drove them up. They unloaded them, and then Andrew parked his car. Andy parked the other car, and I went up to the dorm with the stuff. And it was no problem. And as Elena said, there is no judgment on how much stuff you bring.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so families, I know there's been questions that were asked, like how many cards you can bring. Honestly, whatever you need to bring. And I would suggest that everybody go through Shar at the parking lot in the back. It'll be easy to see. There'll be so much signage, and you'll literally be following a path. But everybody go through together, so you then arrive at the residence hall together. And whatever time frame it takes to unload the car, it's no problem at all. There's plenty of people helping. I know it's been asked, you do not feel obligated to tip at all. These students and staff members are there volunteering to help. It's really a fun day for everybody. And you'll see when you pull onto campus, there'll be people cheering. The band marches through campus. Um, so you'll just see like there'll be high energy during move-in. So don't feel like you have to tip the people by no means at all. They're there voluntary helping out. Just part of what we do here at Elon. So, and if like say your move-in time is 11 a.m., that's what time you were to be at Shar. And no one's like going, oh, it's not, it's 10:59. Just, whatever makes sense. If you get there a few minutes early, it's fine. A few minutes late, it's just to help kind of coordinate so there's a flow of cars coming through in a kind of an even fashion. So,
To echo
um,
that,
yeah,
as someone who will be doing this for my third year, um, at various levels of leadership in the orientation process, we do this because we care and because we want to have you all have the best experience that we had, and because we want to provide that energy and everything like that. We do not expect anything at all. We do this because we want to and because we want to help, not because we're getting anything out of it, except for the joy of knowing that we made someone's experience better.
yeah, it truly does. Like it sounds corny, but it is so great on move-in weekend seeing happy families and excited students. It really makes all of us happy and excited as well. So, parking for the whole weekend, for parents, don't stress about where you park, because it's not going to be. They're not going to be looking and making sure you have a tag for any certain spot during that weekend. Same would go for family weekend. So if you need to leave a car in the parking lot overnight, that's fine. Um, so
And Elena mentioned the Target. There is a Target nearby, so whatever you forgot or didn't know you needed or wouldn't fit in the car, it's a huge Target. It's got a huge college dorm section in it, so they'll have
mm,
whatever you need, and it's pretty close by. It does get busy on move-in day, but
Yes, if
it's
you
there.
can, go earlier and
Yeah.
as possible. Like go after you've unloaded everything, go after that when you decide like this is what I need, not after you've completely set up the room because it does get super busy and they only have so much stuff. So although you still will be able to find what you need, and there's also a Walmart and there's also a Dollar Tree and a million other stores that you can go to, I would recommend in my personal experience, going on the earlier side after everything is into your room, but not completely set up because that'll just make your experience a little more easy.
Yeah, yeah. The Target and here locally in Burlington, they know when move-in is. Our local grocery stores know when move-in is. They greatly appreciate having Elon students back on campus and parents here. We also have Greensboro, which is about 25-30 minutes away. It has a couple of Targets and Walmart throughout. There'll be time on Friday and Saturday that um, the parents will have free time while the students are occupied with orientation activities. So you can go do, Target, Walmart runs. You can also be mailing packages to the mailroom here on campus and pick those up. Your student will need their Phoenix card to show to be able to pick items up. Um, or some kind of identification at least. So you can pick them up before your move-in time, like on Thursday if you're here on campus, or wait if it's something that could wait till Saturday, Sunday. They'll be open. Plenty of hours for everybody to get items. So you can also, do pickup orders from Target and Walmart as well. And, Amazon packages get delivered to the mailroom. And your students' campus box, they will have that information already. That would be how you send packages using that. And if you Google, first, let me give you the best tip I learned. Elon's website, when you go to Elon University, there's a search bar in the top right. Use it like you do Google. So if you want to know about the mailroom, or you want to know about um, health services, or you want to know about a certain degree or anything, type mailroom in the search bar and it will pull up their website within Elon's website. And you'll find all the information you need to know about how to ship packages to your student, how it needs to be labeled for Amazon and whatever. So, um, so we got move in and happened, and um, then Friday afternoon around, is it 4:30, Elena, for students? They go and meet their orientation leaders. So parents, there's actually a parent panel that will be happening. If you haven't already checked out New Student Programs website, it gives the schedule for parents and for students. So parents have a schedule for Friday and Saturday. Students have their orientation schedule that goes from Friday afternoon all the way till Monday evening, with classes starting on Tuesday. So definitely look. Again, you can Google new student programs. We'll put the link, yeah, um, in the chat. It's right there for the schedule. But parents have a panel that they can go listen to with some campus partners around campus that Will Robertson, you may see his photo there. He's the director of parent engagement. He'll be there. Someone from campus safety, different campus partners that we know you may have questions and you want to hear from. But then on Saturday, there is time that parents and students have some programming as well. So that's the new student convocation. So highly recommend, if you can, to stay through Saturday lunchtime and attend new student convocation. It's a nice event. Um, I would say business casual attire. I told my son he's wearing like a golf shirt with a collar and, khaki shorts. It is outside. It's under the oaks, so it's in the historic neighborhood. There will be college coffee as an Elon tradition, so we're offering kind of a sense of that for parents before new student convocation. On the other side of Shar Center, where Turner Theater is, there's a plaza on the corner of Lebanon and Williamson. If you know where the Oak House is, it's directly across from that on Elon's campus. There'll be pastries and coffee and juice available around 7:30 to 8:20. New student convocation starts at 9, but the 1,549, I don't remember the exact number, of students for the class of 2030 will be processing in starting at 8:30, and they'll be blocking all the aisles to get to the seats. So that's why we highly suggest being seated by 8:30 because they'll come through Alamance. They can touch the bell that survived the fire um, many years ago. So that's kind of significant. And they'll all be seated together. Parents can find their seats. There'll be plenty of spots there. You can take your coffee and pastries to your seat, but try to be in your seat by 8:30 for the program to start at 9. That's on the schedule. Katie and Andy, do you remember new student convocation for Andrew?
Yes, and we did not know that we needed to be in our seats by 8:30, and we did have to walk through all those students. So that is very, very good advice, but it is really very cool.
Yeah, it's so President Book will speak. Um, I would suggest new transfer students. I just saw a question pop up. Is for new students and transfer students can attend. Um, there's if you don't know, Elon is Hebrew for oak. We have quite a number of oak trees. So that means we have quite a number of squirrels and lots of acorns on campus. But after new student convocation, the students process out and they'll go meet their Elon 1010 and actually they'll go meet their orientation leader. Elena, you may have to correct me on the schedule a little bit. But they'll meet their orientation leader on Young Commons. But while they're making their way there, they get their acorn. And it may sound a little cheesy and corny, but that acorn 4 years later, after baccalaureate for graduation week, they'll get their oak sapling to represent the growth that they did going from an acorn to an oak. So it's just it's a new student convocation does have some semblance to it. So we hope all the families are able to join. So, Elena, do you remember attending new student convocation and afterwards?
Of course. I really enjoyed it. It was super great. While we were walking in line, I really enjoyed touching the bell. Um, it's just a tradition, and I think that depending on which student you ask, whenever you pass through Alamance, you have to touch the bell. Um, some people are just like, it's once at convocation, it's once at graduation, but it just depends. I really enjoyed it. I remember that I kept my acorn, I took pictures with it, and then I put it in a little wooden acorn box that my mom gave me. And so I have it with me to take a picture of it next to my sapling when I graduate. It's a really, really sweet and just thoughtful experience. It's kind of it's very heartfelt, and you get to hear from the student body president as well as the president of the university and everything like that. And you get to dress cute. So yeah.
Yes, yes. And so after new student convocation, the students will go meet up with their orientation leaders. Um, Tip for students, I would get your orientation leader's cell phone number just in case for whatever reason, let's say you got hung up or whatever you weren't able to get over to Young Commons and your group went to a spot and you don't know where they are. You can text them and say, "Hey, I was running late." And there's also orientation headquarters inside of Mosley Center, which is at the end of Young Commons there. That's also orientation headquarters. If you didn't get picnic tickets, which is for the picnic at lunch on Saturday, you can pick them up there. And also there's t-shirts you can purchase as well. So, and the parents are then meeting their Elon 1010, the students' Elon 1010 advisors. Katie and Andy, do you remember meeting Andrew's Elon 1010 advisor?
We do so Elon 1010 is sort of the intro to Elon class where you learn about being a student there, and every section has both a professor and a student who sort of co-teach the class, and great meeting them. And I think it's the only school I know of that does it, that has a specific class to help you get your feet wet in the newer environment. So we thought it was really compelling.
Yeah, so Saturday morning you've attended new student convocation, then you've had the chance to meet their Elon 1010 advisor, and that information is where to meet your student's Elon 1010 advisor is in your student's packet that they get when they go through SHAR Center. So make sure you get that information from your student like Friday, evening before you both go your own ways, because students will stay in their residence hall Friday evening because they are ready to start their campus experience then. And then we have an information fair on Young Commons with uh, a lot. I don't remember how many campus partners, um, 30 some, I believe. Everything from some organizations, Creed, First Gen, meal plan information is there. Um, our office will be there getting involved with Elon Family Ambassadors. I'll have a table there for that. And all different kinds of information that you may or may not be aware that you need to find out about as a parent. Um, will be there for you to ask questions of and connect with. And that's at that time your student is going to their Elon 1010 advisor. And then afterwards is the send-off picnic. Katie and Andy, did y'all do the send-off picnic on move-in, or did you do other plans for lunch on Saturday? Do you remember?
We did the send-off picnic and then we came back to Charlotte, and it is a good way to say goodbye and move on and have a definitive time that you need to leave.
Yes, because after that, there's really no other program for parents. There's time that you can, do another Walmart, Target run if you need to or whatever. But as far as programming, a lot of parents do leave at that point because the students will then start back with orientation soon after lunch. So. Um, Elena, did you remember, did you do the send-off picnic, or did your family do other lunch plans?
Yeah, we did the send-off picnic. And there are three different locations for the picnic. I would tell you them, but I'm concerned that I'm going to give you the wrong information, just because I have so much information about locations in my head regarding orientation. But there are three different really big tents with multiple tables of food underneath
Mhm.
each one. Um, and so it's fantastic. And I know that this year, I think it's like kind of barbecue food. There will be like gluten-free and vegan options for everybody. And I really enjoyed it. Full transparency, I think my mom did stay longer afterwards just because we have family that lives in the area and stuff like that. But I didn't spend much time with her after that. She just kind of like set some extra things up for me because orientation is mandatory. So I went to orientation stuff and everything like that. But it was great to send off the rest of my family and kind of a conclusion to the orientation process with them. And then my mom did like a couple other stuff and then headed on her way.
Yeah, so parents are kind of done after lunch on Saturday, and then orientation continues, and then it's the first day of class. Um, Katie and Andy, I always like to see if parents, a lot of times they've set up like a communication check-in with their students. Did y'all do that with Andrew? Like sometimes it's once a week. For some families, it's once a day. Like, hey, Sunday afternoons, let's try to call.
We did
Did
not do that with Andrew because he is really good about calling and texting us. But now that you mention it, I think with Carter, our incoming freshman, we might need to set up a weekly time that we know we're going to speak with him. Just really depends on your child.
Yes, yes. I know I was talking to some other moms recently, and for them it was once a day, um, and for others it was once a week. But maybe they texted good morning, good night, um, more so just to kind of check in, to keep in touch, but kind of more of a not to be on top of everything, and to, not to monitor all the things that your students doing because they are, most of them at this point are 18. They are kind of an adult. They're away from home. Um, Katie and Andy, do you have any advice for um, our new parents who might be sending a child off for the first time, or maybe sending the last one off in an empty nest? Like, any advice about how to handle a college student, like the best way to be hands off, or, to balance that?
Well, I'll give my take and then Katie can add hers. I think at least at the beginning, you're going to get phone calls when they're feeling lonely, out of place. I think that's super normal since they're in this brand new environment and kind of on their own for the first time. And I think as a parent, it's easy to take because that's where you're hearing. You're only hearing that oh my gosh, this must be a disaster. And just remember that's a point in time and just encourage them that nobody knows anybody and just put yourself out there and get involved and you'll meet people and it's going to be fine. I guess that's my parent advice is don't panic when you get those kind of first couple week I'm lonely sort of phone calls because I think that's super normal and they all go through it and they all get through it.
I agree. Definitely had some of those phone calls because they don't call you when they are having the time of their lives to tell you that. They only call you when they're sad. But for Andrew, I think that the turning point really for him after orientation was when they had the activities fair and he just signed up for everything, every club, everything he could do. And he just went to all of them and met a ton of people and figured out what his thing was. So there's just even after orientation, there's just so many opportunities at Elon to continue to meet new people. Just tell your kids
Yeah.
that.
Your great advice, great advice. Elena, so the organization fair that Katie just mentioned happens, I believe it's the second week of class.
I
Is
can tell
is
you
right.
exactly when it is. It's Wednesday, September 2nd.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, September, yes, Elon does have class on Labor Day. So the students do not have Labor Day off.
Yes.
That is kind of how we structure getting all of the correct hours in and lay out the entire year. So just FYI, we do not have a Labor Day weekend 3-day holiday there. So the org fair, Elena, did you go to the org fair and sign up for everything like Andrew
I
did?
did. I went to the fall org fair and the spring org fair. So there are both. If you happen to not be able to go to the fall org fair, or you signed up for clubs and the fall org fair and you're like, wait, this doesn't really align with what I want to do. There is also a spring org fair. It's the same situation. And I think the org fair is really amazing because there are just so many options. And I think that the beauty of it is that you can sign up for everything and then you have no commitment to it. If you decide that, wow, I don't think that I don't have the time for this, or I don't know that if I can commit myself to this, that's okay. No one's going to be upset with you. No one's going to think differently. It's really whatever you would like out of your experience with the organizations. I'm pretty confident that every single student can find one that they align with. However, we do have the option to create your own as well. My recommendation would be go to the org fair, see all of the different organizations and the clubs and everything you can join. And then if you're like, something's missing here, then I would go down the path of trying to come up with something. However, I would recommend, especially your first year, to try to join stuff with other people, and you'll get that sense of community and connection with other people that you might not meet otherwise. And if nothing else, they give out free stuff at Org Fair, and it's great.
Do you remember some of the clubs and organizations that that you signed up for. Maybe you didn't stay with them, but just some. I know we have some very unique clubs. Um,
Milk Club, yes.
yes, Milk Club. Yes,
Yes.
yeah, yes.
So I signed up for club nursing, which I actually didn't know I was going to be a nursing major at that point, but I was considering it. So I was like, maybe the club will help me figure out what path I want to be on with my major because I came into Elon undecided for the first 3 quarters of my first year. Um, and I signed up for Elon Nursing Club. I signed up for Student Union Board, which I can talk more about because I love Student Union Board. I didn't end up staying with Student Union Board because it didn't align with my schedule, but I signed up for that. I signed up for, I want to say there's like an LGBTQIA plus organization that I signed up for, and I'm still technically in it, but I am only able to go to like some meetings. So it's a very like involve yourself at what you can. If you can go to one meeting a semester, fantastic. If you can go to numerous, fantastic. If you can't go to any, you're still supporting them by being a member or by following them on social media. That also helps. So it's really whatever you can do. But I'm sure I think I signed up for a lot more, but those are the ones that I can remember. Oh, Biology Club. I signed up for Biology Club. Biology Club is great. They do bingo and McMichael Bagel Mondays, which is fantastic. And I'm still a part of that.
Our
Very
favorite one
cool.
that Andrew signed up for was Elon Win Stuff, which is the campus televised game show. It's kind of like the Elon version of Jeopardy that they do in the TV studios there. And he signed up for the club and then auditioned to be the host the next week and has been the host of that every week for the last 3 years. So that's been super fun for us to watch from home.
Wow. Wow. Do you remember any other organizations that he got involved in?
Oh my gosh, what was he not involved in? Do you remember the specifics ones, Katie?
I don't. I mean, he was in the German club. He did Elon Sports Vision. I don't know. I don't remember.
So it's a quite a range. Yeah.
It was a big
Yes.
range. Yep, that's my recollection.
Yeah, which is great advice. Like you've mentioned, Elena, like you may not be able to go to every meeting, but just getting involved and just checking it out. You don't know what Milk Club is about? Go to a meeting. It's literally about milk. It's kind of a fun. It's to me it's one of our most quirkiest ones, but it has a lot of people who are involved in it. So, and not just cow's
Yes,
milk.
they have
They do.
lactose like
Yes, they
free
cover the
milk.
whole. Yes, yes, they do events and different things. I think they did some stuff around Earth Day with having cow. Maybe before Earth Day, and they brought cows onto campus. Anyway, so highly recommend students checking out the org fair and just going around and putting your name and email down on many different ones. So classes have started. What advice, Katie and Andy, did you give to Andrew about going to class and getting involved? Was there any specific class, any
I mean, I
specific?
still say this, that the most important thing is to go to all your classes. When you get the syllabus, to put all the test dates and paper due dates in your calendar immediately. Don't wait till the last minute to do your homework and go to office hours. The professors are incredible at Elon. Over Family Weekend, you can actually meet your students' professors, and all of them know your kids. It's amazing. But they want the kids to come in and see them at office hours. Just I told my boys, you need to go.
Yeah, great advice. Andy, anything to add?
No, I think that's right. I mean, I think, obviously Elon gets the number one undergrad teaching award every year in the country for a reason, and the professors are just so accessible and so willing and wanting to interact with your students. It's just been really great to see.
Yes. Um, I know I was telling my son, who's going to be a first year student, read through every syllabus because I know a student was telling me the other day that there was many classes, she's a senior, but many classes where like the professor at the very end would be like, email me, your favorite ice cream or something kind of obscure, but it let the professor know that you read the entire syllabus, and they actually got like some extra points for doing that. So, Elena, any advice about meeting your professors or classwork or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say that there are a plethora of things at Elon to assist you in whatever you need. There are academic advisors, there are tutors, there are, as they said, office hours. I would take advantage of all of that. It's incredible. I go to my professor's office hours often because sometimes I have personalized needs that I don't want to like address at a big lecture or it's not a big lecture, the classes are small, but I want to like understand concepts better one-on-one and stuff like that. They all want to see you succeed. They all want to assist you and it shows that you're putting in effort and they often work with you very well to get you to the spot that you want to be at yourself if you show that you are committed to this and are trying and everything like that. There are academic accommodations at the library, and they do a great job of assisting with that. So that's also something that you can take advantage of when you start classes. I think my biggest recommendation would be a Google Calendar. I love my Google Calendar. I live by my Google Calendar, and I've specifically set like times in my Google Calendar to have dedicated homework times, and I think that helps me not procrastinate as much because I have this set aside time. Also, it depends on the person, but I don't study in my apartment because I will go on my phone. So I think that having a good study spot and orientation leaders in peer education and everything have a lot of examples of study spots that they can help provide your student. But having a good study spot and going there so you're not in the mindset of like, this is where I also sleep and relax, it kind of helps. And that's to each their own, but that's my advice.
Do you mind sharing your favorite study spot?
Of course not. I love a lot of study spots. First, I would say any of the coffee shops on campus, mostly because it's like a chill vibe, but also you get the caffeine boost. The library is fantastic. The levels go quieter as you go up. There are 3 floors. Um, and so if you like want a little bit of noise because you can't have complete silence, then the second floor is good for that, etc. I typically am in the nursing building just because that's where all of my classes are. But it's also a good study spot even if you don't have classes there because there are not a lot of people use it. Um, let's see what else. Lindner Hall is great because it looks kind of Harry Potter-ish for their study room. It has like dimmer lights. If you like that, I will fall asleep, so I don't go there, but it's fantastic for a very academic vibe. And if you want like a chill vibe, but the lights are a little bit dim, and I'll actually go to sleep. So that's great. Innovation Building is great. They have great whiteboards and everything like that. And then my last recommendation would probably be Sankey, which is one of the business buildings. And on every floor they have at least like 4 study halls. And they have great whiteboards. I'm a big whiteboard fan, as you can tell. So those are probably the ones that first come to mind, but I honestly haven't found a bad study spot on campus. It's just bad if it's not available.
Yes, yeah. The rooms that you mentioned in Sankey Hall, which is right beside of Innovation, where the sunflower, the like the solar sunflower is, are great. They're just first come first serve spots there. Lindner Hall is probably my personal favorite just because of the look to it. It does have a very Harry Potter library look to it. So. Just kind of moving through the academic year. We have Family Weekend that happens at the end of September. Um, so that is September 25th through the 27th, that Friday afternoon, and all day Saturday there. Um, Families can go ahead and register, buy football tickets, we do have another convocation that is with Arthur Brooks. He is a well-known author that is speaking on that Friday afternoon. And then football game. That's the time when Katie was mentioning that you can meet some of your students' professors. And they're not going to, when you meet your students' professors during Family Weekend, they're not going to do a deep dive into your students' grades or how they're doing in class. That's not what college professors do. They'll have a conversation with the student, and I strongly suggest, and I would love to hear Katie and Andy's thoughts on this, of, encouraging your student to reach out to the professor when they have concerns and whatnot. But as a parent, I probably wouldn't be emailing the professors. Any thoughts on that, Katie and Andy?
I think it would be very odd for a parent to email a professor would be my thought on that. But yes, and yeah,
Yeah.
your kids again, the professors are so welcoming that however your children want to your gosh, they're not children anymore. However your students want to interact with them, they'll be more than willing to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So during family weekend, they might review kind of like what topics they're discussing or what the class is meant for and whatnot. Um, so Andy and Katie, I know you've been to a couple of family weekends.
Yeah,
Any highlights, your favorite things?
we've been to all of them and really good experience every time. My only advice would be make a dinner reservation well in advance because all of the restaurants around Elon and all the surrounding towns completely get booked. So that's my practical advice for you.
Yeah, there's only maybe three restaurants in Burlington, Alamance County that actually take reservations. There's a couple more if you go into Greensboro or Chapel Hill to the west and east of us. And either spot is like 30-40 minutes away. So not really a crazy drive at all. But Burlington Beer Works, Pragos. If you drive about 30 minutes south to Saxapahaw, the Eddie Pub takes reservations. Those are the ones. I am probably missing something, but those are the ones off the top of my head that I know that take reservations here in Burlington.
We ate at McEwen Dining Hall last year, just saying, because we didn't
Mhm.
have reservations, and that was fine too.
Oh yes, our as a staff member, I will eat at the dining hall. You can look online, which is kind of great to see what Elon Dining's menu is for all three dining halls. And one day I was near McEwen and didn't have lunch plans and looked online at McEwen, and there was crab cakes and some other things that made for a great lunch. So McEwen is probably a favorite. Lakeside is great. So um, any highlights from family weekend? Any of your favorite events?
My favorite event is meeting the professors, hands down. I just couldn't believe how they all knew Andrew. I don't know. I was astounded. And we also like the football game, but we're just kind of a sports family. So
Good, good. Elena, does your family come to family weekend?
No, because it is very like, as they said, it's hard to get reservations. And so my family tends to do it another weekend, but only because we've done it so many weekends with my brother. And so I think
Sure.
that because that we've had the experience before, although it is ever changing every year and they're adding new stuff every year, it is a great program. I just think that since we've done it, we kind of do more of a chill family weekend. But it is great. They have so many events, and there's a cappella concerts specifically for family weekend that weekend, which are amazing. They're so insanely talented. And like tailgates and stuff like that. So it is absolutely fantastic. I still attend the family weekend stuff. Like that's how much I enjoy the events. Um, but book hotels or stays in advance, definitely.
Yes, yes. And families are welcome to come to campus at any time. You're not limited. Probably the only limitation would be your students' schedules. I do know, just exams kind of, take precedence of having to study or projects and whatnot. So it's always good to kind of check in with your student and see, even during family weekend, like how much they want to be involved. There's things that your student doesn't have to attend with you. Coffee with the president on Saturday morning, a family weekend. President Book is just walking around talking to different families. She's very welcoming and loves to chat with families. And then she gives an update of kind of like what's happening on campus, and different things like that. The football game, the Rockapella concert is definitely my favorite. I agree. But it's a great time. You can look at the family weekend schedule and decide what and how much your family wants to do. It's definitely a great time, if you're able to get reservations and whatnot, to come back and see how your student now kind of owns their space. Katie and Andy, you probably remember like Andrew's first family weekend, seeing how he had changed.
For sure. It's a good distance away from move in that they do have time to settle in and adjust and start making friends. And you absolutely see that change starting to happen, which is really fun.
Yeah. And they might show you their favorite parts of campus and different things that have nothing to do with the schedule. So you can kind of create your own family weekend, a little bit of the scheduled events and a little bit of what your student wants. Um, just a heads up, you do need to register for Family Weekend. It's $35 per family, so it's a one-time fee. But that by registering, that will give you the information Katie was talking about for Saturday morning, where you can find out where your students' professors are going to be, and you can chat with them then. So J term is something unique to Elon. Elena, do you want to try to give what is J term?
Yeah, so J term is a special thing that Elon does where you take a class for 3 weeks, and for 3 hours every day of the week, I should say, either in the morning or in the afternoon, you are in that class. And so that gives you a full semester credit of that class, but it's in a compressed schedule. I did not do J term my first year because my brother was studying abroad in Hawaii, and so I went at the end of J term and spent some time in Hawaii with him while he was doing after his research was finished. And so he did that through Elon, and so I worked during J term. You don't have to do that. You can go home. You can do whatever. J term is definitely not a requirement. It depends, in my opinion, on your graduation schedule. It does offer you that boost of the extra 4 credits. That can assist you in graduating on time, but it's not a requirement by any means. After that, how do I? Yes, I have taken 2 J-term classes. They've been great. I like them. I thoroughly enjoy my J-term time. The professors understand that it is hard to be in a class for 3 hours every day, but they make it super fun and adjust the curriculum so you're doing more activities. And this can also help you get your different general education requirements. So I got my literature expression and my advanced equity requirement through J-term. And then it's also a great opportunity to study abroad for a shorter time. I'm studying abroad in the Dominican Republic with the nursing program this J-term, which I'm super excited about. I'm not that, well, first of all, I can't, with the way the nursing program is, do a full semester of studying abroad because it just doesn't work with my clinical schedules and everything like that. Um, However, I'm also not the type of person that would like to be away for a whole semester. I'm a very like homebody, and I like to be a drive away from my parents. Not everybody is like that, and I think it's a great experience to do a full semester. However, I really, really love that J-term has study abroad opportunities because it gives me the chance to study abroad and learn stuff in a different country and really immerse myself in the culture in a way that just a vacation wouldn't, especially excuse me, sorry, especially with whatever the class is based around wherever you go. But I can come back after 3 weeks and be like, okay, I'm home again.
Yes, yes. And just for parents' information, J term is included in the fall tuition. So it's paid for whether your student, takes a class or not. But I know Katie and Andy, y'all mentioned that Andrew also went abroad. Where did he go?
he went to Munich, Germany, and that was actually a summer program. It wasn't J-term, or it wasn't a full semester, but I would say many of his friends have done international study of some variety, and it's so many different options to choose from. And he had a great experience in Germany.
Super. Yeah. So some students choose to do study abroad. I want to say we have a high 80% of students who study abroad. And there's a wide range of programs, including Study USA, where they can be somewhere, actually in the US. But it's in a different space and still taking classes. But sometimes, you have to take a class the semester before to kind of like prepare you for study abroad. So that's kind of why first years don't really go abroad that first year. But you could do a fall semester, J-term semester, spring semester, or a summer semester. So that's something that a student can look at and talk to the Global Education Center about, and their advisor, as they're trying to plan out their 4-year plan. So I know we've talked a lot, and Robin has been busy answering so many questions. Thank you so much, parents, for sharing your questions and whatnot. Any questions that you would like to share with the panelists, Robin?
Yeah, I've been getting some specific questions about international student move-in, several about the move-in process. Just as a reminder, our new student programs posts a really great breakdown for international students as well about the move-in process. So be sure to check that out. A lot about lofting beds for the move-in process is something that I saw a lot. Elon provides all of those materials. A couple other things that I saw arise a lot. If you have more than one car and you arrive at the same time, please go through Shar Center line like together. That is A-OK if you have more than one car. RAs are a great resource. Someone asked about RAs. And they are a great resource. They should be there for move-in and introduce themselves to you as family members and also your student before meeting your roommate. Some really great questions, and hopefully we got to answer most of them. A couple that came in at the end, just to note, syllabi for classes are all posted on Canvas. And Canvas access will be given to new students quite soon. That is up to the individual professor to post their syllabus. If your student is not seeing that class syllabus until the day before classes or even the first day of class, that is A-OK. It's really up to the professor to post those.
And that's very common too. Like
Yeah.
if you don't know what your books are needed and it's first day of class, that's very normal. Yeah.
Yep, and yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. So if your student is checking on track to see if their textbooks are uploaded there yet, they may not be. They may not be seeing anything, and that is normal as well. It is all right. Maybe they might not need a textbook for that class, but maybe they don't need it until later into that class. So the professors will upload that information into OnTrack as well. But those are some of the main questions. And of course, we are always here as the Office of Parent Engagement to continue answering them and be your one-stop shop for all help that you need at Elon. So if we didn't get to your question or you have more specific questions, please do feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help.
Yes, and I see one asking about the nursing program and whatnot. If you want to email parentengagement@elon.edu, and we will connect you with Elena and see if she can give you some more insights about the nursing program.
Yes.
So,
Also, if you have any questions about orientation, the orientation email is nsp, new student programs, but nsp@elon.edu. And I'm also happy to answer any questions about orientation, about financial aid, about nursing, about being a student, all of the above.
super. Thank you, Elena and Andy and Katie. I appreciate your time and sharing your Elon experience and tips and ideas. And we thank all of the parents who were on the webinar and shared their questions. Very helpful for everybody. Again, if we didn't get to your question or if you think of something in the next couple of days, feel free to reach out to Parent Engagement at elon.edu. You can look us up on the Elon website, Parent Engagement, in the search bar, and you'll find our office and all of us and our emails, and feel free to reach out. And we are here to kind of navigate any questions that you may have and get you the answers that you need. And we look forward to seeing all the parents, hopefully at the information fair next Saturday morning, because we'll be around and have a table there as well. So thanks so much, and we'll see you on campus next week. Take care.